Hey, good afternoon. I want to talk to you about our two upcoming training events. The first one is in Charlotte, North Carolina, May 24-26, around the Coca-Cola 600 NASCAR race. More specifically, we're evangelizing in the middle of the fan fest called Speed Street, which is in downtown Charlotte. Now, a training event is what that means is we're specifically designed to train. It means we're going to have some classroom time, and then we're going to go out to Speed Street and put it into practice. Tommy Waltz, who is a good friend and has been a Super Bowl outreach team leader several times, leads Gospel of God Ministries. He's doing the teaching. He's a gifted teacher. He's really good. He's got a really good manual. He's got a very good systematic way. He teaches through the topics of being an open-air preacher, which include preaching itself, dealing with hecklers, dealing with civil magistrate, everything else. So when you're done with the training, you'll have the fundamental framework, the foundation of what it means to be an open-air preacher and the things you're going to deal with. And then we're going to go out to Trade and Tron in downtown Charlotte and put it into practice. It's kind of that simple, and that's what we mean. We're going to, if you want to learn to do it, then this is the place to come. Tommy will be there to teach in the classroom. He'll be there to coach you when you're out there preaching. And after 3 days of this, you should be pretty familiar with what it means to be, an open-air preacher. And then you can take it and you can develop it on your own as you want to, but we're trying to lay a foundation for you so that you can come in and learn the basics and then go home and continue to preach. It's kind of that simple. So if that's what you want to do, you want to learn, you've never done it before, you're just getting started, something like that, then come to the training. It's designed for you. You have a great time. We've been doing it now. This will be our 3rd year, and it really gets better every year as we get used to really doing training. When you're so used to preaching and going all the time, slowing down the train takes a little bit different temperament. So I think by God's grace, we're moving in that temperament where it's really becoming a real fruitful training event. So I hope that you will come and join us if that's what you're looking for. The other training is called the George Whitefield Training Week, and it's designed for men who want to go full-time or considering going full-time, and men who want to be trained in homiletics, which is a word for preaching. So let me talk about what I call track 1. So when men, the challenge with going full-time is not the gospel. The gospel becomes a very simple part. Preaching and evangelizing really becomes the simplest part of it. It's what I call living the life, which boils down to this. Where's your income coming from? What is your theology that really helps you persevere for the long haul? And then what are the spiritual disciplines you need to adopt to lay a foundation so that you can deal with everything? What I mean by that, how do you love your wife, love your family, become a fruitful member of the church, deal with civil magistrate, all the while you're reaching the lost? It can be very much overwhelming. So spiritual disciplines, which is both prayer and understanding how to look at these different relationships, really help you navigate this so you can get in it and stay full time. So that is track 1. Charlie Berry's been teaching track 1 for the fundraising, which is called Ministry Partner Development, for several years now. He does a great job. And when you're through with this training, which is 3 days, you're going to come in, and by the time you leave on Wednesday, you'll be making calls to people, setting up appointments to go see them, to ask them to partner with you in your ministry. So we're going to get that specific this year, and you're going to walk out of there by Wednesday and know what the ministries across the country are teaching their guys. It's really what I call the best training and teaching out there. There is now. You don't have to do it that way, but you're going to hear and see the foundation of what ministries are doing. They're really mobilizing a lot of missionaries and evangelists out there. Dr. Herb Boyd is teaching the theology part. I really think this is helpful because you have to have a theology, a view of your role as an individual evangelist in the big picture so that you, again, can persevere in the work. There are theologies that really work against us as evangelists, and even in a theological sense and even in a personal sense, it really sort of bogs us down, and we want to give you theology that allows you to flourish as an evangelist. And lastly, I'm the one that teaches the spiritual disciplines class, and by God's grace, He's taught me these things over time. This will be my 18th year being in full-time ministry. Again, by His grace, it's every day is because He has sort of propelled me forward, and He's taught me a lot of lessons along the way, which I want to share with you to try to save you some time, save you some pain, as I like to say. and so that you can navigate all these different relationships and be fruitful and be a fruitful evangelist as well. So if you're thinking about it, or if you want to do it, or if you want to join the George Whitefield program, this is what that track 1 is for. It's worth 5 days of your life to come and investigate living it out, even if you're just thinking about it. And here, it might be something that's so easy for you to go, wow, is that all there is to it? And that might be what you need to hear. It might be overwhelming to you. I don't really know. It's definitely worth 5 days of your life if you're thinking about it. If you want to do it, I believe the training is really good. And it lays a foundation for you when you leave to build on. And that's the key to me. We're trying to, in what we do, lay a foundation for you to build on. We're not trying to cross every T and dot every I for you, but we're trying to lay a foundation for you to build on, because that's the way this works. You're out preaching all the time. You're the one that has to get up in the morning. You're the one that studies the scriptures. And so there's a lot of initiative involved in this kind of work. But what is really helpful, I believe, is to lay a foundation for those 3 components, and that's what track 1 is trying to do. If you want to talk about joining the George Whitefield program, you can contact me directly, and we can talk about that as well. Homiletics. We're preachers, and I believe we should be able to preach in the park, preach in the stadium, preach in the pulpit, and that's why we're having another homiletics training again this year. Dr. Denny Pruto, who's a seasoned homiletics professor, is doing the training. He's got 12 lessons. It's all there on the website. Plus, I think the best part about it is going to critique your sermons. And so that's what we're trying to get to when we're good technical preachers. And what that means is, what are you saying and how are you saying it? We study in the George Whitefield program, how did George Whitefield preach a sermon? He has a definite style in saying what he had to say. He's very organized in his message, and he gives a lot of illustrations, and that made him a really fruitful evangelist. And so I think what we're trying to get to where we're good technical, mechanical preachers, and so that you're communicating the message and people are hearing what you're having to say. Dr. Bordeaux's written a book called Hey Pastor, What's Your Point? And so this is the realm he's dealing with again. It's a foundational kind of teaching, and we're trying to lay a foundation for you to build on in your own evangelistic ministry. And so again, man, if that's what you want to learn, then the homiletics, I believe it's going to be a really worthwhile 5 days for you. And even if you're not an evangelist, but you're a pastor, or you're preaching, or you want to learn to preach, you're welcome to come to homiletics training as well. Just fill out the application. Man, I'm excited about these 2 things. Hopefully you'll come and join us as we seek to really mobilize the next generation of George Whitefield, because like most of you guys here that are watching this, we want people to hear the gospel. We want people to believe in our Lord Jesus Christ. We want them to be saved and reconciled to our great God and Savior. So, and all of this is a work that seems to go on throughout the church, the history of the church, so that can happen. So I hope you come out and join us.